John, take us back to the scene for a moment, because I just wanted to catch up here. You mentioned you just arrived here at the hospital.
At the hospital, yes.
How would you describe the scene? We have heard absolute chaos.
That's a good way to describe it, absolutely. From, like I said, for anywhere from the Yonge and Finch area all the way down to the Yonge and Shepherd area, was just, there was debris, there was clothing, there was police units, fire units, ambulance units everywhere.
We know that there was good.
Like that?
No, I have not.
And how long have you been?
I've been on the job, we're in my 21st year.
We know that there are at least 8 people that have been transported here to hospital, but some of the witnesses we've been chatting with at the scene say they saw this vehicle plow through about 40 people. You said you saw debris and clothing scattered everywhere. What would your assessment be? In terms of what you saw, like, I mean, would you say dozens of people might have been injured in the path of this vehicle?
It's very possible. It's very possible. A lot of people were injured. A lot of people were doing on the scene. Many people were transported offsite. I don't have those numbers, unfortunately.
How do you deal with when you've got such a large number of victims? Tell us about all the parts that come into play on your part in terms of getting them all to the hospital, getting them care of them.
Well, we're in close communication with our dispatch, with our commanders. Basically, we move over to a designated channel that we communicate on because we have other calls going on in the city, so we still have to address the needs of patients around the city that aren't involved in this particular situation. So in this situation, we have a designated channel. We try to dispatch as many ambulances that are available to the scene to transport as many patients, depending on their level of injury, to the hospitals. And we transport them to various hospitals, trauma centers and non-trauma centers alike. And basically, in that regards, we want to get everybody off scene in a timely manner to help them out as fast as we can.
How many people would you say you transported in total?
Those numbers I don't have. Like I said, we're just sending them out as they become available.
What other hospitals
have they gone to? What are some of the challenges for you guys getting to this? Because it's quite a busy area of the city.
Absolutely. So we have the traffic as well. I mean, it was a time of day that rush hour traffic had not started. So moving around, of course, you have Yonge Street closing now, but we do have our lights and sirens. And as long as we're driving in a responsible manner, but we want to get to the scene as fast as we can in a safe manner.
John, just so we're clear, one spokesperson with the hospital has confirmed to the media that one person has died. Now, I know you're just arriving back at the hospital, but you're saying from what you saw at the scene, you believe this is a situation with multiple fatalities, based on your professional assessment?
From what we were surmising, multiple patients with potential multiple fatalities, yes.
Okay, so that's interesting at the end there, right? The paramedic who's being very careful about what he knows and what he doesn't know, but he said basically.
All right, good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to the live stream. Yes, I still have to talk about what happened in Toronto today. Very awful event. 8 to 10 people have been run over by a van in Canada. If you're not aware of this, honestly, it's a very, very rough day for the world today. Very rough day for Canada specifically, a very most peaceful country in the whole world. You would never expect anything like this to happen in Canada, out of all places. If you were just watching the CBC stream, we do know that the Toronto Police Department are going to go live at, let me put my headphones on so that way there's no echo. I do want to hear in the background, and if anybody's just joining me, I apologize about the thumbnail. I will update it as soon as possible. I apologize for that, everyone. I needed to get you to this very important thing here. I'm trying to... I can't hear anything in my headphones right now. That's odd.
That we
we're having a problem.
We'll be airing it shortly.
Okay, let's see what we got. Yeah, I barely hear anything in my headphones right now. Oh, there we go. Oh, this is the guy who just got arrested. They just showed it on TV in Canada. Okay, so, I'm gonna keep you on this in the meantime. You can see this small, because, yeah, as I said, I can't put it in full screen here. How ironic that this sort of reminds me of, what happened in Manhattan back in October. Same incident. I know in this day and age we can't be politically correct. We have to be politically correct, but in this situation, I'm sorry. This had to be ISIS. I mean, if it wasn't, they're not going to tell us if this was ISIS or not. I have a good feeling this had to be ISIS. And if it's not, again, this is the proof that our media is too biased. I'm going to try to edit it. There's a way I can check it right now. So if I can pull up the Andy's Randomness logo, that would be great. I have to go to Creator Studio on Edge, because I have Matt Camper texting me in a different browser right now if he needs to. So Matt, if you are watching this right now, if you have anything to contribute to my coverage, please do that. If you have anything else to contribute to this live stream regarding the terror incident in Canada, please tweet me at Andy's Randomness. I will have my Edge browser up, because I know right now I did the right thing. I put up this up here right now. Obviously, I am going to lower this. I'm pretty sure that, yeah, I agree. The New York Police Department has to be involved in this. I mean, if they're not, just change this. We can get a... yeah, we don't want this. We want the other thumbnail. I should have changed it. I apologize, everyone. Just gotta save this picture as... I can edit this. They're talking to an eyewitness, so let's listen to this. I figured auto and vehicles would be the right thing for this, just saying. Cards. Man, if I have to edit this, I'll edit the thumbnail later on. It's no problem. I apologize again.
Want to be graphic, but just generally speaking, in terms of the people who were hit, of the aftermath of the collision, what did you see?
Well, I saw 5 or 6 people on the ground from Empress, the intersection at Empress, all the way through to Mount Lassman Square, and I can still, right now, I'm still seeing 3 bodies laying on the sidewalk that haven't been taken away by the coroner yet. They're covered up, still laying there.
Still laying there now.
Yeah.
And I think at some point you went down to street level, right?
Yeah, half an hour ago I went down and just walked around a bit, but you can't get too far. I mean, all the streets are taped off. There's yellow police tape all the way up to Finch from where I am.
So where you are, though, is inside, I guess, the cordon created by the yellow police tape. So you're already inside there. So when you got out on street level, were you able to walk around, or what was the situation?
Yeah, you can still walk up and down the sidewalks. You just can't walk onto the street.
And besides the disturbing scene that you described in terms of the people who were still there, what else is happening there? I presume investigators. Is the street otherwise empty? Other people like you just walking around? Tell us about that.
Yeah, there's a few people walking around now. The streets are fairly bare. There's about 30, cop cars, EMS vehicles. There's still a lot of emergency vehicles out front here on the street.
And you get a sense of, you know, on the one hand, obviously the aftermath of a terrible incident like this would, you know, lead to a lot of emergency workers being there. But beyond that, do you get a sense of a high level of security or a high level of alert on that street right now?
Yeah, I'd say so. But I mean, there are, you know, police walking around right now. It's all pretty casual. People are just walking around with clipboards and, you know, just looking at things, and people on the pedestrians standing on the side just still kind of looking on.
How are you doing?
Well, I'm okay. I mean, I was shaken up earlier on, but it's wearing off a little bit now, but it's still, I've seen car accidents at the corner here before, but this was a little different than that, and you could tell right away that it was different than just a car accident.
And so when you got on the street, are you basically free to go where you want? Like if you need to leave the neighborhood, you're okay?
Yeah. You can get off. You can go up and down the side streets and anywhere off of Yonge, you can still keep going.
And just to get back to that original moment, and I know you don't know the motive, and I'm not asking you what the motive is. How would you possibly be able to answer that? But I'm more curious about the moment when you were sitting there and you heard what you heard. Just describe for us again kind of what your first impressions were and what happened next.
Well, for me, when I first jumped up and went outside, I thought it was just going to be a car accident. Maybe somehow someone got up onto the sidewalk and, you know, lost control of the vehicle. That's happened before at the corner here a couple years ago. But then when I looked outside and you could still see the van going down the street, you know, a block further south, you know, usually an accident would have come to a stop by then. It still wouldn't be moving, and he was still moving. So, and now it turns out that this was halfway through the, you know, his ride down the street. This started all the way up at Finch, so it was way more than just an accident.
And again, without being graphic at all, I assume people who happen to be there start helping those who need help. And I mean, was that happening? And then, oh, you know what? I think that we're going to be getting our update here pretty soon from the mayor, John Tory. Let's go live to him now. Sorry to interrupt you.
Okay, thanks.
Well, may I begin by expressing on behalf of all of the people of Toronto and on behalf of myself and the members of Toronto City Council our profound condolences to those who have fallen victim to this terrible act this afternoon.
Okay, thank you.
Our hearts and our thoughts and our prayers go out to the families of those involved and to their friends and co-workers. We obviously don't have a lot of detail we can provide as yet, but we know there were casualties, and our hearts and thoughts and prayers go out to the families and friends of those people. In times like this, we rely on our first responders to do the job that they're there to do for us. And I can assure you, having been at a briefing that we've just completed in the last while, that we are very well served and were from the first moment that this became known to the authorities, and that I want to assure people that the city is in safe hands at the moment and that they're continuing with their investigation, and the Deputy Chief will have more to say about that in just a moment. I also want to say that this is a time when this community should come together. These are not the kinds of things that we expect to happen in this city. We hope they don't happen anywhere in the world, but we especially don't expect them to happen in Toronto. But things are as they are, and beyond supporting our first responders as they continue to do their work, and you'll hear more about the task that lies in front of them investigating this terrible tragedy, I hope that we will as a city remind ourselves of the fact that we are admired around the world for being inclusive and for being accepting and understanding and considerate, and that we are united in standing in solidarity, especially with those who have fallen victim to this terrible tragedy today. Now, I have some very practical matters, and I just want to look at my notes to make sure that I don't forget any of these, but I want to convey a number of things to the people of the City of Toronto, especially people in this area. First of all, we're asking people who live here or who work here, please do not come to this area if you're not already here. The police and the other first responders have a lot of work to do on a very complicated investigation, and it just helps with the task they have in front of them if people are not in this area. Secondly, we've asked, and we are asking, that all of the businesses and buildings that are office buildings where people work during the day, that those people would, in an orderly fashion, close those businesses for the remainder of the day and ask people to go home. It is close to the end of the business day for many people in any event, but we're asking if people will close their businesses, and we're asking for those businesses that are on the east side of Yonge Street that they use Doris Avenue for those who are trying to leave by car or on foot, and for those on the west side that they use Beecroft. In other words, we're trying to keep people off Yonge Street near the scene of this tragedy so that the police can continue with their investigation and so that there's as little chance of any kind of disturbance of the scene of this incident as possible. So we're asking that to be the case. I have already asked that the city government building at Mel Lastman Square be closed for the day, and I think again it was close to the closing time, and so again I'm hoping those people are leaving that building in an orderly fashion. We're asking that people who are coming home to this area please do the same thing. If they can use Beecroft to the west of Yonge Street to get to where they're going, and if they can use Doris to the east, that would be very helpful. We have Toronto Police Service officers, and we have as well people from our Transportation Services Department here to help with the traffic flow so that people can get to where they're going. But obviously people do have to come home, but again, if they don't have to come home for any reason, then again it's going to be easier if they don't come tonight, or if they come at a later hour so that not everybody is coming here at one time. With respect to public transportation, as people will know, we have had the subway closed at the North York Centre station today, but the trains have been passing through. Passengers are asked to get off at Shepherd, and the trains then go through on to Finch, and people are not able to get on or off at North York Centre, and in fact the trains are empty travelling between those two stops going northbound. We're asking people to take that into account in their travel plans, if possible, to use the York University, Spadina University subway line, or to use other means, because obviously it will be more complicated than normal because we can't offer shuttle buses on the section of Yonge Street that is closed and would be expected to remain closed for some period of time. I would say to people that I've been advised in the briefings that I've been privy to this afternoon that it is likely there will be several days of disruption going on because there's a major investigation obviously that's going to be taking place here, and I hope that people will be considerate of that and understand that there likely will be disruptions to traffic and to business and to other things in this area of the city. But as part of, I'm sure, pulling together, we will understand that the sacrifices people will have to make in that regard would be reasonable in the context of something as terrible as this that has happened and that we have to get to the bottom of as quickly and efficiently as possible. Finally, I would say that we are in the process of establishing two hotlines, two response lines for people. The first and most important is for the families of those who are worried about loved ones and are trying to inquire about the well-being of their loved ones, and I don't have the number at this very moment, but they're in the process of being established as we speak, and we'll have that information for people very shortly. And the second one is one that will be established separately, which is for people who can help the police in any way. If people have any information whatsoever about this terrible incident, we're asking that they should contact the police through this number that we will make available to you at the same time as we make the one available for the families and loved ones of those who may have been affected or those who are concerned about that. And so in introducing Deputy Peter Ewan, may I just say once again that it is a time to be as calm as we can be in the city, to understand that our first responders are doing their job, especially our police. I can tell you how incredibly impressed I was at the professionalism and the thoroughness of the people that I saw in action in the room that we've just come from. And I hope people won't forget that spirit of unity and that spirit of solidarity and that sense of calm that we should have as people go about dealing with an awful tragedy. But nonetheless, they'll be dealing with it, I'm sure, very effectively. And on that note, I would ask Deputy Ewan to brief you from his end. And we will not take any questions today because it's just at a stage where it's too early to start into the kinds of things I'm sure you'd want to know about. Deputy?
Good afternoon. My name is Acting Chief Peter Ewan. I'm here to relay some information to you as to what happened today on Yonge Street. Approximately 1:30 this afternoon, Toronto Police received a number of calls from citizens indicating a vehicle was driving on Yonge Street and striking a number of pedestrians between Finch Avenue and Shepherd Avenue. At this time, what is known to us is we have located that vehicle. The driver's in custody right now, and he's been investigated to the events that took place this afternoon. I also want to offer my condolences to the families and the victims of this tragic event that took place. We can confirm for you tonight, right now, we have 9 people that are dead, 16 that are injured. Toronto Police Service has mobilized all available resources, and I can assure the public all our available resources have been brought in to address this tragic situation and to investigate this situation. And I also want to assure the public, the rest of the city, are adequately policed by our other resources. As the mayor said earlier, we will be establishing 2 hotlines. One is for victims and families to call for the loved ones. The other one is for, more importantly, for witnesses to call in, because this is going to be a complex investigation. Toronto Police Service will be here for a number of days to shut down a busy stretch of Toronto, but this what is required, because this is going to be a long investigation with multiple witnesses, with a lot of surveillance cameras, and namely at 1:30 this afternoon there were a lot of pedestrians out enjoying, a lot of witnesses enjoying the sunny afternoon. So we're urging anyone that saw anything, please call Crime Stoppers or call Toronto Police Service and let us know. Those 2 hotlines numbers will be published very shortly on our website, through our social media, our Twitter. So please stay tuned. The chief is on his way back to Toronto. He will be addressing the media later on tonight. So there will be more information to follow later on tonight. At this stage, I ask the City of Toronto pray for our victims and also to assist the Toronto Police Service in bringing this matter to a successful conclusion. As I stated earlier, we have 1 person in custody and the investigation is ongoing. That's all I'm prepared to say right now. Thank you.
Deputy Chief, how was the suspect arrested without gunfire?
Okay, that's the latest.
So we're watching live as the Deputy Chief of the Toronto Police Service just speaking. We knew that there were going to be casualties here. We had heard from somebody who lived in the area that there were still 3 bodies covered by...
All right, so you just heard it from officials saying now 9 people are dead, 16 others are injured. Again, 9 dead, 16 people are injured. We have fatalities. As I said earlier, you would never expect in a peaceful country like Canada for this to happen. Canada! I can't believe it. It's shocking. I first found out about this through a friend who called me, who claimed CNN was reporting it first here in America. For anybody watching in Canada, they first reported it, and then Fox News picked it up because where I work on Mondays, my building doesn't have MSNBC, so I was only able to flip between Fox and CNN, but, you know, it's just awful. I think right now here in the United States, we offer our prayers, our condolences for Toronto. Pray for Canada, because it's they need us right now. We're going to find out if the Prime Minister, Justin Trudeau, has tweeted. Well, I'm pretty sure President Trump has tweeted as well. We have a video right now from CNN.com, who first broke the story from the CTV. So we are going to watch what Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau is saying. First up, I'm just going to go to my private line on Edge right now to see if I have any contributing coverage. Oh, okay. Matt Camper, we may be going live to him later on. We don't know. I wanted to react to the bus action plan, but if Matt's going to be live, I don't know. Do I want to watch him, or do I want to... I don't know. Alright, so we are just going to look for the video right now. I'll boost the audio in just a sec. Okay, I found the video. Here is Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau's quick reaction to what happened.
officially.
About the situation in Toronto, our hearts go out to anyone affected. We're going to obviously have more to learn and more to say in the coming hours, and we'll.
As this is all just coming in, we have no.
So that was Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau. I'm trying to figure out if he has said anything else. He has gone on Twitter about an hour ago, so we will check Prime Minister Justin Trudeau's Twitter feed. Yes, the Prime Minister did tweet in French. Tweeted about 3:22, about an hour and a half ago. Prime Minister Trudeau tweeted, "Our thoughts are with those affected by the terrible incident at Yonge and Finch in Toronto. Thank you to the first responders working at the scene. They are monitoring the situation very closely." Honestly, you heard what the mayor just said of Toronto. We're going to see if President Trump here in the United States has tweeted. Knowing him, he's most likely said something. Surprisingly, President Trump has not tweeted. The only thing that he's tweeted is this thing. I don't know if the White House has issued a statement on behalf of the president. I'm going to see if anything has come up on Google. Let's see if we have anything. Yeah, I don't think the only thing we've gotten from the White House was Sarah Sanders, so we may have to go to her, unfortunately. Just hang on. We are looking for press briefing from the White House. We should be able to find it. If anything, we should be able to. All right. Here's Press Secretary Sarah Sanders.
Welcome back.
Make it louder. You will be able to listen to her.
Today, the President and First Lady welcome President Emmanuel Macron and Mrs. Macron to the White House, beginning the first state visit for the Trump administration. This visit will celebrate the long and enduring friendship between France and the U.S. Discussions will include economic, diplomatic, and global issues. The First Lady has taken an active role in every detail and planning of the visit, including the state dinner, which will be held tomorrow evening, and we're looking forward to a very successful state visit. As you all saw, we now have 3 Democrat senators who have announced they will vote to confirm Mike Pompeo, President Trump's highly qualified nominee for Secretary of State. However, a majority of Democrats continue their pointless obstruction to score cheap political points with their base as a willful attempt to undermine American diplomacy. Regardless, the President is looking forward to Mike Pompeo's confirmation so he can continue doing an incredible job on behalf of the American people. I also want to commend the heroic actions of James Shaw, Jr. early Sunday morning at a Waffle House in Tennessee. Mr. Shaw saved lives when he wrestled a gun from an active shooter who had opened fire. The President offers his condolences to the victims and their families. He is monitoring the ongoing situation, and the White House is in regular contact with state and local officials. Finally, I want to congratulate the Duke and Duchess of Cambridge on the birth of their 3rd child.
That was the wrong clip. I apologize, everyone. Apparently, now I remember. I was watching Fox at 1:30, I think. Yeah, 1:30. That's why this was an old clip. I apologize, everyone. I think we just played the wrong clip, but something useful regarding that. If you haven't heard, let's check the Drudge Report quickly. Yeah, if you haven't heard, the gunman who was involved in the Tennessee thing, yeah, he got arrested. We'll just read this quick thing. Metro Police in Nashville announced that Travis Ranking, the suspect in a deadly shooting in an Antioch Waffle House, has been arrested. Shortly after 1 o'clock earlier this afternoon, police announced Ranking had been arrested in a wooded area near Mountain Springs Drive, less than a mile away from the scene of the shooting. Alright, so, let's see if we can find anything. Yeah. So this was Travis Ranking. He has been taken into custody. Apparently that was a prepared statement from, of course, Sarah Huckabee Sanders, the White House press secretary. We're trying to see if we can find any White House press releases on what happened, briefings and statements. Yeah. We don't really have anything officially from the White House regarding the awful event that happened in Canada. Again, I don't know what President Trump is doing right now, but I hope he is paying attention and not thinking about meeting Macron right now, because obviously I'm sure one of his advisors whispered to him, Mr. President, we haven't a situation in Canada, and then told him what happened, but let's just see if Mayor de Blasio here in New York is tweeting. I might as well find that out. I mean, he should be. I mean, if I was the mayor, I would have been tweeting, I have advised NYPD to beef up patrols in the wake of the events in Canada. I'm pretty sure that's the right thing to do. You know, safety first. Okay, Mayor Bill de Blasio here in New York has tweeted the following. At NYC Mayor, our prayers are with the victims of today's horrific fan attack in Toronto. We extend our deepest condolences to the families and loved ones, but nothing regarding beefed up patrols. So I'm just going to give a warning right now. If you're at Grand Central Station, Times Square subway station, Penn Station, probably within the next 24 hours, please be advised that there will be more security over there, because I'm assuming after what happened today, that's most likely going to happen. Now, I don't really have anything else right now regarding this, but at least Mayor de Blasio did tweet, so there is something that did come up regarding that. I don't know what else to say. You know, I really don't know what else to say. Is this terrorism? Maybe. We don't know yet, but this is a suspicion that it could be terrorism. I don't know. I mean, what else am I supposed to say? Is that if this wasn't terrorism? It most likely could have been. I don't know. We all don't know right now. You know, you never think in a peaceful country like Canada. I figured to calm people down in Canada, I'll play the national anthem, because I figured it's the top of the hour. If you're just joining us, you can rewind back, but I figured to calm people's nerves, it would help. Let me just fast forward. We'll quickly play it for a second, I promise.
Oh, Canada,
All right, welcome to those viewers who are just tuning in right now. This is Andy's Randomness. I'm coming to you live from New York City, of course. In case you haven't heard, awful event happened today in Toronto. A possible ISIS terrorist attack. We know right now from officials, 9 people are dead, 16 are injured. I was just playing that for the people who are just live, so then that way people in Canada could join us, obviously. Obviously, it's, again, tough situation. Again, I'm saying it's a possible ISIS terrorist attack. We don't know anything yet. I think the police are just not saying anything to calm down people. But, again, if you're from Canada and you're watching this right now, I said this earlier and I'll say it again, you never would expect anything like this to happen in a peaceful country like Canada. And for this to happen, just awful, really awful. And, again, I think for the best of us here in the United States, we offer our prayers and condolences to everyone, especially the victims, friends, and family, of course. I'm hoping none of the victims were American. I'm really hoping not, because we don't even know the identities. It's still too early to say anything, but obviously it could be that we may have somebody from the United States involved in this. I'm hoping not, but it's awful. Really awful. And for a neighboring country, we should offer our, again, thoughts, prayers, and condolences. And hopefully tonight on Monday Night Raw, I'll mention this quickly, they may have a moment of silence tonight. I think that would be the most appropriate thing, because normally during a terrorist attack, you would have something like that before you get to the action on Raw tonight. But yeah. Also, I'm assuming a lot of sporting events tonight, especially, you know, if there's any if there are any sporting events in Canada, I'm sure there'll be a moment of silence. But especially in the United States, that there should be a moment of silence tonight for, you know, what happened, and would be Stam 4D in Canada that would be appropriate to play their national anthem. It's a beautiful national anthem. Definitely an anthem that prides with Canadians, and, you know, I just honestly think that, at least to calm down people, I did the right thing, and for people who were just joining us, it would be appropriate. Okay, so I'm going to go on the Drudge Report, and then we're going to change topics for my viewers in New York. I do want to talk about the bus action play today. Okay, here we go. Yeah, so they updated it from the Sun. The cops were called to the area of Yonge Street and Finch Avenue. So if you're familiar with Toronto, you know it's a very busy area during the day, and I'm assuming people were enjoying the nice spring day. Here in New York, I'll just quickly mention that it was a nice day until it got windy about 2 hours ago. So we actually have a video of the suspect getting arrested. Let's see if we can play it. So, here's the video from The Sun, Twitter user at VCE7. Alright, so you just saw, from that angle, we cannot tell if the suspect is Muslim. We cannot tell if the suspect is Muslim right now. We don't know that. Again, I'm saying this is a possible ISIS attack. We do not know if ISIS has claimed responsibility. I mean, if they did, I mean, that would be shocking, of course. Again, they honestly have no business attacking a peaceful country like Canada. They really don't. So this was the van. Let's try to pull it up. This was the van involved. Here we are right here. This was a rider van. Okay, so I'm very familiar with these type of vans. From what I'm figuring out, this had to be a Chevy Express. Had to be. I mean, from the backlights over there, definitely it had to be a newer model Chevy Express. And obviously the United States does export to Canada. We have a very good free... I got to admit, well, Canada, we still have a very good free trade, and I hope we keep that up economically. But yeah, see here, another photo from the scene, of course. Let's see. Now, this is too hard to make out. Was this a weapon? We do not know that right now. We do not know if that was a weapon. We have an eyewitness on the scene right now. See if they can play this.
From what I saw, a truck-ish from Young and Finch. He was coming this way. And from what I heard, one person at Young and Finch, 2 people at that corner over there, and 3 people here were run over.
What did you see?
Like, it was all in shock. I was studying, and all of a sudden I see the truck just running through. I get up, and like by the time I come here, I saw some of a blood trail and all that already.
Did you see people jumping out of the way? Did it happen extremely quickly?
Yeah, it was pretty quick. He was definitely speeding. Like, he did seem to have control over what he was doing, but like, so it wasn't some sort of impairment where he was swerving or something, but just straight through. And he managed to make a perfect turn at that corner over there as well.
Was it, do you know the color of the vehicle?
No, it was too quick for me to actually see license plate and color-wise. It was too much of a fat flash.
And a truck or a van?
Truck.
Really?
Yeah.
And you saw them just swerving onto the sidewalk? Were they on the sidewalk?
They were already on the sidewalk, and they were just going, and then he turned right at the corner. I saw people like jumping out of the way. Unfortunately.
So this eyewitness is bringing up deja vu. Again, here in New York, and again, for people in Canada who are dealing with this in Toronto today and across the entire country of Canada, we had a similar event that happened in New York a couple months back in October. Same incident. Basically, it was a van. Well, it wasn't a van. It was a Home Depot pickup truck, and it same thing, but pretty much happened. Multiple people were run over, and again, I'm really hoping that nobody from the United States was involved in this. I'm really hoping not. That would be the least worry on my mind right now, but as more details come in, I'm hoping maybe on Wednesday me and Frank will talk about it on Sports Politics and More. If not, I'll bring it up if Frank can't be on the air, but I can tell. You know, this is pretty much the same reaction that happened back on Halloween with this similar type of incident, of course. My God. Yeah, I'm trying to find the other eyewitness video from CNN, because actually I gotta hit the nail with CNN today. They were the first to break this, and it ended up being a real news story. So CNN, you were sort of owed some credit today. Brooke Baldwin, you are owed some credit as well, I guess. Oof, boy. Let me just see if I can get an eyewitness.
Let me pivot over to the other breaking story out of Toronto, where
just trying to find an eyewitness.
Simply walk.
If not, we'll just watch the video from
sidewalk.
I don't think I'm going to be able to find anything from this.
There was some sort.
Yeah, that's definitely not going to come from here. We're going to have to watch it from the witness video. Yeah, we already saw. Let's see what we got over here. Ooh, we may not have to. Oh, better not play that. I'm afraid if I do play it, YouTube might take down this live stream. Here are more eyewitness accounts.
The car, but he did.
So I was trying to chase it down.
And
I'm trying to play the eyewitness who was on CNN, so bear with me. I think I may have found the brief clip.
3 people lie down there and they didn't move at all.
I thought he had a heart attack or something, so I was trying to chase it down in a way, almost try to catch up to see what happened. All I seen is this guy is just crumble. I mean, he's going 70, 80 clicks. He's just hitting people one by one, going down. Oh man, it was like, it's a nightmare, man.
There's people, fire hydrant, there's mailboxes being run over.
And you were in your car, you witnessed all of this?
I witnessed, yes. And I try to hunk as I'm driving, following him, because he was driving really fast on sidewalk, so he obviously something going on.
Wow.
Like he was seeing on me.
So basically, the eyewitness who was on CNN, because again, I remembered I was watching CNN around 3 o'clock, and they were showing the eyewitness, of course. Let me just go on to Fox News. Maybe they may have something. I mean, if they haven't showed it, I could just rewind back on the live stream.
From what we know, at least 8 to photos now. Obviously, busy intersection there in Toronto. From what we know, at least 8 to 10.
Yeah, I do want to find the clip, but I don't think I'm going to be able to find it. I know it was on Fox News, so if we can find it, doesn't matter at this point. That's the last clip I will show for you. If not, I apologize. Looks like we don't have any live streams from Fox. Yeah, we don't have anything, so that's not good. Alright, so nothing on Fox, nothing. I can't find anything. This is CTV right now, and I'm trying to play them. And I must have had them pause for a second.
The teams, we were fortunate in a way in the timing that this happened. This was during the middle of the day, and we had a large number of our staff and physicians that were already here, so we were able to manage the initial arrival of people in that way.
Doctor, 10 victims and patients, I should say, from the scene arrived here at hospital. I know the conditions vary. Did they all arrive by emergency run?
I believe they all came by EMS, yes.
And I know you can't say much about the 2 people who are deceased as you work to notify their families. Can you give us any indication as to age, gender?
As I said, I really can't give you any information at this point. I just don't have anything else I can offer regarding this, so I guess we'll just change the topics and talk about the bus action plan that came out today from New York City Transit. That's what we'll do. And how I think they should change the routes, honestly. Okay, so we're going to look for a news story regarding this, I believe. Looks like we have a video from Channel 7, WABC TV, so looks like we will be able to find something. Hopefully.
The bus fleet of the future. The MTA unveiling its bus action plan, which includes sweeping measures to modernize its network of buses.
Eyewitness News reporter Tim Fleischer is live in Lower Manhattan with the details. Tim.
And Charlene and Sandra, at this noon hour, MTA board members, but more importantly, the 2 million riders who traveled the bus network throughout the day are getting really the first look at not only the new buses here, but also what appears to be a very ambitious plan to overhaul New York City's transit system. Now, what you're going to notice first is these new types of buses involving this double-decker bus that they are considering using in this massive transit overhaul. They're also looking to bring more zero-emission and electric buses to the fleet of 5,700 as well. But the plan goes much further, making improvements to the network, to routes, speeding up boarding, new exclusive busways in parts of the city, and improving customer service. Transit's new president calls it a bold plan.
I noted what one of the speakers said, where they called for an ambitious and comprehensive plan. I think this is that plan. We've deliberately looked end to end, from start to finish, on the various aspects of a customer's journey in order to create a plan that we think tackles all of the various issues that need to be tackled in order to reverse that decline of recent years.
The president goes on to say this, in essence, is a top-to-bottom redesign of the system, all with the purpose of getting people riding buses once again.
Here's money for pizza. Here's the Wi-Fi password.
All right, so that was from WABC. So we're going to take a look at the reimagined buses. Now, I don't know what in the world is this double-decker idea supposed to do, but I'm very worried about the future. They're going all in with the with this new fleet. Again, I'm not happy with it somewhat. This is the only part I'm against. Double-decker buses. How in the world are you going to make this work in New York? It works in London, I get that, but New York? Not really happy about it when it comes to this. Look at all these people. They don't realize what they're sitting in. They could be sitting in junk. I don't know about this. Yep, here's the new flyer junk again. I am not happy about this. I am not. I have a bad feeling this is coming to the Q46, because they kept talking about it, and it might be the future. Now, again, am I in favor of quicker boarding time and not dealing with the driver? Yes, to make the experience.
Of the future, the MTA
Pause this. I apologize. I'm going to have to figure out where I can find the plan specifically. It has to be a PDF, because there's not. I don't know. Okay. Okay, this is the specifics. I'll put it on full screen. A completely redesigned bus route network. NYCT is performing a top-to-bottom holistic review and redesign of the entire city bus route network, the first in decades. Now, I will go into my public input, demographic changes in travel demand analysis. And now, you know, if you don't want to watch a live stream, I will make a separate video, probably by Friday. Again, I'll talk about it specifically, just quickly, and then I'll go in depth on Friday. I promise. So, again, my suggestion is to Mr. Byford would be number one, to make the Q46 strictly from Long Island Jewish to, where was it? Right, from Long Island Jewish to Kew Gardens. That would be number one. Number two, eliminate the Q36 going through Jamaica. Make it a north-south route starting from Jamaica Avenue and 268th Street in Queens. Figure out a way to get a bus along Jamaica Avenue from that area for Park to the Long Island Railroad or the bus terminal in Jamaica, specifically from that area. I would definitely recommend that at this point, but the 36 doesn't get enough service. It's a route that only goes on Little Neck Parkway every half hour, and it's not fair to the residents, it's not fair to the riders, it's not fair to me. If I want to go up to Little Neck from Long Island Jewish, if I want to get the Long Island Railroad, it's not fair, and I think the route should be every 10 to 15 minutes. I've been saying this to my friends, and they completely agree with me on that, but I'll go more in depth on Friday, I promise. I will do a pre-recorded video, and I will get into, into it again. I talked about it before, but I am hoping that maybe I can suggest just to Mr. Byford that he should look into changing some of the routes here in Queens. That would be 2 suggestions I would like to make. Okay. Alright, NYPD is going to do stricter enforcement of the bus lanes. I will agree with that. Honestly, they should have more of a priority for buses on Woodhaven Boulevard. It's a route that, again, serves a lot of people. The Q52, Q53 Limited. I was against the bus lane originally, but I'm hoping if they are going to enforce the law and get less cars off of Woodhaven Boulevard that don't belong there, I think what they should do is, and this is a strict thing, but if Waze is telling you to get off and take Woodhaven to get to JFK Airport, I wouldn't even take it. I would just sit it out on the highway because, or even deal with the service road on the Van Wyck, because honestly, you know, you're supposed to make it a mass transit friendly system, and you know, you got to enforce the laws. You know, there's current laws. Speeding up loading by using all doors. NYCT Transit is pursuing new approaches to speed up bus boarding, particularly using upcoming electronic tach to payless readers. Again, I'm very familiar with this. Mr. Byford's basically trying to implement the Oyster card system in England, which I am completely in favor of. I think for the future, to eliminate the Metro card would be good, but also I think, like what they have in England, I have researched it carefully. Basically, Mr. Byford wants to have purchasing fare media with cash will always be an option. Yes, so most likely you are going to have a Metro card option, which is, again, what England has with their system. Like, you know, what we have, we can transfer from bus to subway. Pretty much you'll be able to have that with New York City bus, so I'm looking forward to that. Yes, explore cashless options. I completely agree with this. I think they should use PayPal. I know it sounds stupid, but if you can use PayPal, that would be great. I use PayPal, and I think Mr. Byford should look into it. Definitely. I have a phone, and I can just put the PayPal app and scan it with the PayPal thing, I guess. I mean, that would be useful. But also, again, for people who can't access PayPal, they need to have a system where you just tap your card and you can go on to the subway or the bus. I think Mr. Byford is being very, very, ambitious with this. Improving customer service. Digital information screens, so they're basically taking the approach from Nice Bus. They want to have automated announcements, next stop and real-time service advisories. I think what they should do is, for specific routes, they should give Long Island Railroad service advisories along with subway advisories. That would be very useful. Work with the City Department of Transportation to have more bus shelters. Proactive management to improve service delivery. Computer-aided dispatch and operation supported technology and using GPS-based displays. I think now that when we report the drivers, they're actually going to pay attention to us. So maybe if I keep doing these type of videos, then maybe things will work, but hopefully they're working on better dispatch. See, Nice Bus isn't doing this. At least we have a plan here in the city. And this is why I don't want to move to Long Island. Long Island doesn't offer this stuff. Only the city can. Yeah, this is something I'm a little bit alarmed about. Double-decker buses. I don't know how this is going to work. I'm not really in favor of it. Double-decker bus is something you would ride obviously in England, but not in New York City. I don't think it will work out. They will be testing the Staten Island Express bus route on a Staten Island route coming later this year. The rest of the fleet is being upgraded with digital displays to show real-time route, stop, and service update information. You're also noticing on the buses now that there is free Wi-Fi, so that's pretty good for me. I only use it to, again, go on bus time or check my emails. I know they don't say don't check your emails in public, but that's my fan mail account. I don't check my personal account when I am, on the bus. I just do it that way. They're going to add security cameras, so this is interesting. I will give Mr. Byford a lot of credit here. He's being very ambitious. Let me see if there's a PDF. Yes, so they had in the city today, the buses, very good that they showed them off, but again, I'm very worried that they're not going to be maintained at Queens Village. I'm very worried, as many of you know, and I don't know if this is going to help or hurt Queens Village. I mean, we don't know right now. We really don't know. I mean, what are they going to offer us? I mean, they're offering us this fancy stuff, but, would it kill the MTA to at least give us some news? I mean, give us a PDF file. Come on. Here we go. Okay, this is breaking. Byford and Mr. Eric, the president of New York City Bus, will also discuss the bus action plans at New York City Transit's next Ask NYCT Twitter chat, Thursday, April 26th from noon to 1 p.m. on the NYCTB bus handle. Again, I'm going to propose to Mr. Byford that will he look into changing the Q36 bus route and eliminating the Q46 starting from Glen Oaks to 60th Street. I will be asking him that. So, let's see, Thursday, April 26th. I am going to be at Long Island Jewish, so if possible, most likely I will be able to take part in it. Definitely that's not out of the question. I'm going to be waiting for Mr. Byford to respond, if he does, but I'm going to have to see if I can make this a PDF file later on. But again, I'm very skeptical. Is this going to work? I don't know, but they better improve the buses. Because honestly, in a borough like this, you need buses, and right now, they're in a terrible shape when it comes to Queens Village. And nothing specifically was talked about Queens Village, but Queens Village, again, I'm very worried about what the future is going to entail. So, yeah. Okay, we will go to Matt Camper in just a second. Let's see if we can put him live. I don't think he's going to be live right now. I mean, let me ask Matt if he's going to be live right now. Matt, if you can, text me on Facebook and I'll let my viewers know to go onto your stream regarding the Long Island Railroad. Because I have a video I wanted to put up tonight and I have to start editing it now. So if you can, text me on Facebook. Let me know if you're live. Let me check my phone and see if you are live. I'm talking to myself like an idiot. Okay, Matt is live. He is live. I will turn my live stream off then. Okay, so if you're interested, Matt Camper 1994 on Periscope. He's live right now. So I'm gonna go edit my video for today. I'm gonna end the stream. Again, I don't know what this plan's gonna entail, but I gotta make a PDF for this thing. So that's it. Thank you for watching. Once again, please keep your thoughts and prayers with the people of Toronto as they deal with what they just dealt with today. Again, I quickly want to remind everyone, this Thursday, Andy Byford will be at NYCT Bus to talk about the bus action plan, and I will recommend him my service change for the Q36. So, till next time, take care.